Hey, you're live. Good morning. It's 5 a.m. Mester Scrum. Hope everybody's doing well. It is now 5:30. I've been up for a little bit trying to get all these things going, but it's 5:30. Good morning. And boom, we're off. So got the little cord. So 5 a.m. Mester Scrum, we talk about Agile, Scrum's related activities, business, IT, and give you some ideas on what we're doing. So today I'm going to talk about a couple more ideas to save you 30 or make you or increase your throughput by 30 to 50%. And we have more to go. So I think this whole week we're going to do that, but I'm going to throw some things in related to Scrum and Agile as we go. One thing, this will be the 50th show. So great job, everyone. It's been fun doing this stuff. We'll keep going. I don't see it stopping because I'm up. I gotta get up anyhow. So it is what it is. But we'll keep making more shows. I'm trying to put the podcast up. We are on iTunes now, so you can find us on iTunes. We're in Stitcher also. So I'm trying to get all the podcasts populated with our stuff. I was trying to download some stuff last night, but two of the files for some reason aren't letting me download nor make it into MP3 files from YouTube. Just two. It's funny. It skipped two. Does good. Two skipped and then goes good again. So I don't know why. So I'm just showing you here before we get into it. Daily Scrum, right? This is a little gourd I bought at the grocery store. I don't know. It cost me 80 cents or something. Probably made a fortune off me paying 80 cents for this thing. But you have your daily Scrum. It changes up. Some people use a talking stick or a tossing ball. I would suggest bring something else into this picture. Toss this little gourd around. Maybe I would trim off the little sharp pointy part here maybe. But just to give somebody different. Get them thinking about the fall festival. Happy thoughts in the work, right? So and then you use this for a week or whatever. But this is a great little way of changing up to your daily Scrum. So as they do the talking where only one person talks at a time, and they just hand off the bouncing cord, or gourd, not a cord, a gourd, to the next person. It looks like a little pumpkin. And it gets people in a festive, happy fall mood. May help you set up for other activities, like you can introduce this and do some fun activities for the fall or the changing of seasons for your teams. So, throw something like this in for Daily Scrum, just to change it up. All right, so now let's talk about it. So far, talked about things that help your team get a 30% to 50% improved productivity factor in a relatively short amount of time. Without hiring people working over 40 hours, 60, 80 hours to get stuff done, and allows them to go home and have fun and do festive activities in the fall on weekends, like go gourd or pumpkin picking when it starts coming up. So we talked about limiting commitments, letting your teams limit their commitments, right? And making sure they understand it's okay. That alone will get you 2 to 5% improvement on your team once they realize you're happier by not overcommitting. Testing in the sprint, you got to do that. As that one tweet's going around, where if you don't develop, test, and deploy in a sprint, you're really not agile. It's pretty close to being accurate, if not accurate in itself. Though I think there's other forms of agile which take longer than that. Maybe your sprint 6 months. I don't know. It depends. Like if you were doing pharmaceutical and it used to take you 7 years to release stuff and you cut it down to 1 year, I think that's pretty agile in how you get there, right? Because you're gonna have to do a lot of steps to get there. 3 and 4, good communication tools, something like Slack out there for your team to communicate, because they do like their cell phones. Showing your cell phone yesterday. They live by this stuff. You got to get it with the times. They do it. Like, why can't they just turn around? I would agree, but a lot of times they just like to be at their desk, see a note, and they'll just type out response. So it's just like their cell phones. Everybody's just, if you don't believe me, just go walk around when you walk around the subways in town, or bus stops, or wherever, grocery stores, doesn't matter. They're all on their cell phones. So to think that having a communication like tool like Slack won't help your organization, you're fooling yourself. And people do like to look back at what messages they had with their friends and stuff like that. Tools like Skype don't cut it. Because the messages disappear, right? Um, and the fourth one was set up for success by the PO. PO do not bring more than the average velocity or agreed to velocity of stories into sprint planning. That will totally devastate a team, and they will not produce it because they think they need to commit to more than they normally do. So it's up to the PO. And like I said, in fact, the PO should take away 2 or 3 stories. So the team will then ask the PO for more work. And in fact, when that happens, they'll actually do more work and they'll meet their commitments. So think about that one. So the next two we want to talk about here. One is a definition ready and a definition done. So we're talking about definition ready first because the order goes that way. Definition ready, having stories, features, however you want, ready for the team to review and to code and to test. And I think we did a show on what the definition ready means, but I'm going to tell you why it will give you a 30 to 50% improvement. It is called a sprint for a reason. It is not called, I say this is not called a marathon, right? So definition ready, the PO and the team sit there and agree and write on a piece of paper what they think a story or a feature should have documented in order for them to be successful in coding it. There's a lot of stuff about having a properly written story, like as a customer that, let's say a customer that has a special bank, a special account, should be able to. I'll give you one. This is one of my customer. Here's my personal thought. So I could trash Capital One, right? Okay. So as a Capital One used to be old ING bank, online banking customer, I would like to buy CDs without logging off from where I am, so that I don't have to spend time in making sure that everything's all still connected. So, because right now when you do it, they actually make you log off to the system, go to the products, select a product there for a CD or something like that, then buy the CD, put your password and ID back in the system, agree to a bunch of acceptance criteria on the screen, and then they do it. And then they say, oh, now we'll send you back to your account. Why? Oh, it's just back in my account. So I don't quite get it, why I have to do it again. And plus it's tracked really terrible. But anyway, that would be an example. So that would be a story, the way it's written in the description. I think there would also be acceptance criteria, like who would do it, some kind of acceptance criteria in there. If you have sample data set, maybe sample data sets available. And maybe not all this stuff's there, but you can put into, let's say you're getting ready to do a refinement session. You can say, I know I need to get you guys a sample data set, and I will get that before sprint planning. Fine. Sometimes a sample data set does identify issues, though, that from a developer or a tester, that they may have to take extra steps in that process. And then a UI, and I had talked about that in a previous episode because I was listening to the audio ones about, videotaping the use of the screen as part of the product line. I think that's still an awesome idea, and I don't see anybody doing it. I really, and you can do it internal, because I know Microsoft offers a screen capture software that allows you to record what you're doing, and it'll record all your motions. So record your screen capture it, right? And then put that as an artifact in your definition ready. But this is something the team and the PO should agree on. And we're at a 10-minute mark, so I don't want to go too long on this. But make sure that, and the reason why this happens, because you want the team to feel like they're part of what definition ready is. And you want the team to be able to take the definition ready. If the product owner doesn't have it or the BA doesn't bring the stuff ready for the team to review, that they can use a definition. Hey, we had a handshake agreement that says we would have these things in the story so that we would be ready. So the idea is that we can code it and test it from day one. It's not that we can code it and test it on day 5 of this 2-week sprint. It's not coded on tested on day 2. It's coded on tested on day 1. And when you have all those things ready, they just go at it. They do their, you do your sprint, they do their sprint planning. They task it out, they think about it, they share what to do, and that'll be a future one of these couple things on what they should be doing during sprint planning. But having that ready for a sprint is key, right? So that's definition ready. So you got to have a definition ready, and everybody's got to meet that, because you know what? Teams should be able to call out the product owner or BA for not being ready, and that should come out too. And you can show your business people. Now, the last one for this is definition of done. What constitutes a definition of done? And again, this is a handshake agreement between the delivery team and the product owner on what the teams need to have. So, and it's technical and it's non-technical. Now you can go a definition done to do a demo for the product owner. It could be a screenshot of the final printout. It could be some kind of demonstrated product, right? Because the idea is you can demonstrate this definition done anytime during a sprint. You do not have to wait for sprint planning. And in fact, I encourage not sprint planning. Sprint review or the demo, I would demonstrate it way before that if possible. Maybe that should be another one. Product owner be available anytime the team wants. Ooh, I should write that down. That'll be tomorrow. You'll get 3 tomorrow. You'll get a 6A. Product owner available. Write that one down. I'm writing all these down. But you need the definition done so that we all agree what's a definition done. There may be a way of testing environment levels, depending on the system is. Does it need to be tested or demonstrated in production? Can it be demonstrated in a lower level production environment? Can it be demonstrated in a development environment? And also the definition done should be what the team agrees, what they all agree the definition done, because when you do that, everybody assumes it meets the same criteria, such as unit testing, automated unit testing, code reviews, automated test sequences, hardening type testing, load testing, all kinds of stuff like that that should be part of that definition done. Now, they won't all have all those things at first because they're not really. The idea is that you're getting a 30 to 50% improvement. If they don't have that stuff, every one of those things is an improvement idea. And I guarantee you, once they start automating unit testing, because then as they write code, they run the automated unit testing as they're loading code, and that automated unit testing should be able to be run on their locals too. It'll tell them whether the code they just wrote will break someone else's code and vice versa. So we don't create bugs by just loading it up and then taking another person's time like a tester and take away their time because they're trying to figure out where a bug is when we would have done a unit test and we would have found the bug like minute 1, right? So automated unit test, automated testing, like definition done, manual run through the test. Maybe that's the first sprint that we manually perform the test in the sprint. Definition done, right? Maybe the next thing would be next week, we're going to automate that test. And then later on, we're going to write, instead of manually testing, we're going to manually test and automate at the same time and make sure it all works. And that would be a future sprint. And then that will also improve the productivity of the team. And we'll talk about automation in a let's see, we're at 4:59 demo retro. Code reviews. Probably this weekend. So there'll be like number 11 and 12 will be automation. I want to watch some videos. There's some free videos out there that one lady I'm connected to on LinkedIn, she does a lot of work on automation and using that Selenium IDE and other kind of automation tools. And she's a great speaker. When I do that show, I will introduce her to you all. But anyway, so you need definition ready, definition done. That's key to getting there. And that way you're not waiting around to say what is done. The product owner's time is not wasted because the story is not really done. We all agree what it is. So when anybody says it's done, everybody knows what the minimum level definition of done is. So that's what I have for today. I hope you're enjoying the 5am Mester Scrum. Please like and subscribe, hit the little bell, and you'll get little notices when we do this every day. And I want to get more stuff out there, podcasts, we're doing all that. It's show 50. Thank you very much. This has been awesome, and we'll keep going. And again, we're at 6. There's more to go, and talk about how to improve their productivity. And with that, you all have an awesome day. Happy scrumming, and keep up the good work. It's Tuesday. We're almost through it. It's already started. Been a busy week, and have fun. I hope you have fun. Bye. Enjoy.